Yo, 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 what's up? It's Joe from Joe Innovation Girls in the Peach Capital of the state, baby boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, LQ? Man, we've been on daggone paint gun cleaning, man, for this is day 3 or day 2, whatever, I don't know. We got a couple more to do. We got a couple more to do. It's supposed to be 72 degrees today between 2 o'clock and 4:30. So that's when I'm going to prime them fenders. So between 2 and 4, it's supposed to be 70-some degrees. It's chilly, man. It's chilly. Let me go turn this fan around. What's up, Nathan? Yeah, it's warm outside. It's warmer outside than it is in here in the shop. Like I said, I got 3 more guns we're gonna clean, paint guns. 2 of them I ain't gonna be able to put together because the seals and stuff are just bad. So I'm gonna honestly reach out to Coastal Airbrush. I'm gonna reach out to my guy at Coastal Airbrush and see if how much a rebuild kit is. Because I was looking last night and there was about $150 to $200 for a rebuild kit. So they've came down some. They used to be $300-400. So yesterday when I said they $300-400 and it'd be cheaper to buy a primer gun, I still stand with that. These are Sata 5000s. So they have 5500s and stuff like that. So I guess they've come down because they are let's see, 12 and 22, that's 10, 23, 24, 25, 26. They 15 years old. So these paint guns are at least 15 years old. So with that being said, I'll see what he says and we'll go from there. But this one here, this Route 66 one, it's a limited edition. It's a it is a 1.3 5000 B RP, and it's the seals in it's all right. So, well, I'm pretty sure they're all right. So we're gonna clean this one up real good. This one was my clear gun for a long time, and then I got the water, and then I didn't retire it. I just put it up, and it's just dirty. So we're gonna clean this one, and then we're gonna see how good it sprays and see if it's good. And then we got two more Satas that I'm gonna clean up, and they're really not that bad. We're just gonna clean them up, but they need rebuild. Like they need the new fuser, they need all that stuff. So we'll just clean them up and set it up for that. But it's chilly in here, man. All right, let's get to it. We're gonna do some type of chicken flatbreads today. I don't know exactly where I get my hair cut. What's up, Lee? The guy where I get my hair cut, you son of a mother. Where I get my hair cut at, they're having a birthday party for his great grandma today at 4:30, and they invited me. He came up to me and he says, "Hey man, we're having a birthday party for my great grandma, or we're having a birthday party for my grandma Saturday about 4 to 4:30." And I'm like, "Okay, well, cool." He's like, "I'd like to invite you to come." And I just looked at him and I said, "Okay." I think he said she's 80 or 85 or something like that. She's in her 80s. And I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, that's cool." He's like, "Man, we want you, we like for you to come." And I said, "Okay." And he said, "You know where we live at?" I said, "Oh yeah, I know exactly where you live at." Now, Elko and Lee is going to be able to relate to this because the guy that cuts my hair is Hispanic. It's a Hispanic barbershop, right? So they have invited me, to their grandmother's birthday party today. So I should go because they invited me. I should go because they invited me. Just out of respect, because they did take the time to invite me, and I'm looking for my mask. There it is over there. I got invited to a... Yeah, so I should go because I was, they did take the time to invite me. And when I go to this barbershop, I'm usually the only gringo in the whole building. So, yeah, so I that's what I think too, Lee. Even if I don't stay long, I should still show up because they took it. And matter of fact, I went to Walmart last night, and went to Walmart to get some stuff to make some chicken flatbread, you know, like pita bread, stuff like that. I don't know how we're gonna cook it today, but when I was in at Walmart, him, his brother, I think it's him and his brother and his cousin was in Walmart getting stuff. And I was probably, I don't know, probably 15, 20 yards from him. You know, I was pretty good ways away from him, right? And he said, it was so funny because I was in there getting, I was getting that white Mexican cheese, and I was getting that pita, what is it? PITA, PITCA, where it's the tomatoes and the peppers and the cilantro and all that stuff chopped up. I was getting that for stuff that I want to cook today or tomorrow. And he said, hey, Wade, hey, Wade. And I was on the other side of the damn thing, and I said, what's up, Wade? And he's like, hey, Wade. And I was like, hey, Wade. And he's like, see you tomorrow, Wade. And I was like, see you today, Wade. He's like, okay, Wade. And I was like, see you, Wade. Everybody was looking at us like, what in the hell is going on? Everybody's like, which way they going? They keep saying, hey, Wade, which way? They didn't understand. They didn't understand. They didn't understand. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. It was funny. All right, so we're gonna clean this one right here. Yeah, he's like, hey, wait. I mean, we was all the way across. Everybody was just like, what in the hell are they talking about? And I don't know what, look, let me tell you this. I don't know what the hell they're cooking today, but they had 15 gallons of milk and 2 buggies. So if Elko or Lee can enlighten me on what in the hell they need 15 gallons of milk. They had 15 gallons of milk. They had a bunch of Mesa mix, Mesa corn flour. They had a bunch of that and like 15 gallons of goddamn milk. They had bags of limes, lemons, cilantro. Man, there was all kinds of shit. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Yeah, 15 goddamn. I got a video of it. I got a picture of it. 15 goddamn gallons of milk. And then they had that Mesa mix, the Mesa flour mix or corn mix. Had all that. Had the cheese. Had the peppers. Man, I don't know. I don't know what in the hell they got going on today, but we'll find out. We'll find out. I'll find out. If they let me video anything, I'll video anything. Hey, it might be, Lee. It might be. Hey, Elko, if they let me take any pictures of stuff, I'll take pictures. But it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But the other crazy thing about it is, every time I go get a haircut, it's the daddy, the mama, and the 3 sons and the uncle that's in there in the barbershop. Beauty shop, barbershop, whatever the hell you want to call it, right? So it's the daddy, the mama, the 3 sons, and the uncle, right? And when I walk in, they got the TV playing with the damn mariachi band. They got all kinds of shit going on. There's people everywhere. And I'm the only gringo, white person in the goddamn building. Every time I go, I'm the only white dude in the building. And every time I go, it's packed. Packed. Did you hear me? It's packed. It don't matter if you go Sunday after church, Monday afternoon. It don't matter what day of the week you go. It is packed. And when I walk in, Beanie, he'll say, what's up, Wade? And I say, hey, Wade. And then one time, Beanie's mama, she pointed at me. And I sat down and she's talking to me and I don't understand a goddamn thing. What's up, Lee? What's up, Tulu? I don't understand a goddamn thing that she's saying, right? So Vinny tells his mom what kind of haircut that I want, right? And then I tell Vinny to tell his mom to tell me how her day went. And he looked at her and looked at me and laughed. And he says, she can't speak, she's not real good speaking English. I said, I don't give a shit. Tell her to tell me how her day went in Spanish. Just talk to me the whole time, cutting my hair. Just talk to me the whole time. She could talk to me about, she could tell me whatever she want to tell me. It's like I'm a therapist and I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Ain't no judgment. And I told him and he told her and she laughed. And I said, I'm serious. And she talked to me the whole time she was cutting my hair. Just and I'm going, yep, yep, yep. Never. So they like I said, he invited me to his grandma. I think it's his grandma or his great grandma's birthday today. She's 80 or 85, one of them. But like I said, I think I should go. I think I should go. So let's get to it. So we're gonna clean this one right here. We're gonna clean this one. This is the needle. Oh, that a little tight. That's too tight. See, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. We're not going to use no brush on this one because this one's all painted up and it's limited. So we don't want to scratch it or nothing like that. So what's up, Mustang? Now in here, we'll use this because I ain't got no paint on it. Well, that's good, Mustang. I got a limited Statue of Liberty 3000. Oh, yeah. Hey, Lee. Hey, Lee, I got a buddy that works for PPG. He's here local. He's got every single limited edition gun for the last, woo, for the last 25 years. He's got them all in a damn shadow box. Yeah. He's got them all. The Pirate Jerry, he got them all, man. For the last 20, ever since Sata's been doing limited editions, he's got them. He's got them in a damn shadow box, man. It's crazy. Hey, that 3000 is a good gun, man. That 2000 was a good gun. This is the 5000 here. Now, I got a couple more I need to order rebuild kits for them. But this one right here is my clear gun. Well, one of my clear guns.
like I said, between like 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, it's supposed to be like 70 degrees, and then we're gonna prime them fenders. We're gonna prime them fenders. Now I'm gonna use this wire brush on this part here. Got some old thread tape on there. We're gonna use it right here too, cause they ain't no paint on that. It's just chrome. I got a few. I got a few. I got a few. Now we're not going to use the brush on the paint. We're going to use one of these. This one ain't that bad. Hey Mustang, you been a while, buddy. I haven't had any caffeine or any soft drink since September, but I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah. I've had no caffeine or no soft drinks, no energy drinks, no Red Bull, no Monsters, no nothing since September. But I will use that $5 to buy some case of water, though. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. So when you put this in right there, you just put it finger tight and you just give a little. That's all you need right there. That's all you need. All right, you got to make sure you put the right needle in there. Put the needle on the record. Put the needle on the record. Put the needle on the record, and the go right there on the Sata. It's printed right there. Y'all can't see it. This right here is a Sata Jet 5000 B RP 1.3 tip. So when you're cleaning this, don't use that. Use just a rag. You need to put a little bit of oil, a little bit of paint gun oil on that barrel. I got some down there, but we're not going to do it right this second. So slide that in there like that. All right. And then this is the lock. We're going to clean this up. Yeah, I don't drink no coffee or nothing. Nothing. No caffeine, none whatsoever, man. None. None. I don't drink coffee anyway.
I'm gonna take this mask off. Woo, this shit rough in here, boy. All right, let me tell y'all something. So, when you're setting up a Sata, when you pull the trigger, you run this in all the way. All right, you run it all the way in until you see the trigger move. Watch the trigger. Watch the trigger. You see the trigger move? Then what you do is you back it off of a quarter of a turn, and there is no resistance. Do you feel that? Actually, honestly, I'm still up all the time. Everybody's like, "Oh, you stop drinking caffeine, you'll go to bed." I still don't go to bed. I think I went to bed last night about 1:30, 2 o'clock, and then I got up around 6. So, but I will tell you this. My blood pressure usually runs like 126 over 65, 126 to 130 over 65 to 70, somewhere around there, plus or minus. Woo. And let me step back off of those fumes. So when I go to the doctor, you get checkups and stuff. I went in there one day. When I'd go in there about mid-morning, I've already had maybe 1 or 2 Red Bulls, and I go in there and my blood pressure would be a little elevated. It'd be like 145 over 78 or, some shit like that. And always the check-in nurse and always the doctor's like, "How you feeling today?" I said, "Oh, I'm good. And I said, "Yeah, and they'd always ask me, how many Red Bulls you in today?" "Oh, I've already had 2 this morning." "You've already had 2 this morning?" I was like, "Yeah, sugar-free." Well, a Red Bull is like 300 milligrams of caffeine. So I've already had 600 milligrams of caffeine. So it's like spraying nitrous. So I'm always wide open anyway, but I was just like supercharged, right? So it'd been let's see, September, October, September, January, February, March, April, June, July, August, September, October. So around right before Halloween, I go have a doctor's appointment, right? So, I don't think it's the caffeine, Nathan. I think it was just the taste. I mean, if they made Red Bulls and Monsters without no caffeine in, I'd probably still drink them. But there's a lot of other stuff in there that's bad. But anyways, so I go in there and get my blood pressure checked. And it's like 11 o'clock, right? And I go in there and check it. And the check-in nurse, she checks me in, and I'm just sitting there, right? She looks at me. She said, "I'm going to take your blood pressure again." I said, "Okay." So she takes my blood pressure. And she says, "Are you all right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm good." And she says, "I believe that's the lowest your blood pressure's ever been since I've been here." And I said, "Yeah?" And she's like, "Yeah." I said, "What is it?" And she says, 126 over 63. And she said, "Your heart rate is like 60 some beats, 60 or 70 beats, somewhere around in there." And I said, "Yeah." She said, "Are you all right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm good." And she said, "I take it you ain't had no Red Bull today?" I said, "Matter of fact, I ain't had none since last month." And that was the first thing that doctor asked me when he come in there. He says, "I just want to tell you, I'm happy for you. You have no energy." I said, "No, I haven't had any. I ain't had any." And he said, "That makes me feel good." He said, "Keep it up. You still going to the gym?" And I said, "Honestly, not as much as I used to." I said, "I've been so busy, but not 5 days a week like I used to. I go, but I don't go like I used to." He said, "Well, that's good. Cause he said, "Well, you're active anyway." I said, "Yeah, but I need to keep doing the weight training though, you know, because I don't want to lose no muscle mass or nothing like that. And then he says, well, you need to stay away from like those those workout creatine and those pre-workouts, because all that stuff is nothing but caffeine. I gotta put my mask back on. I'm stuck on the blueberry. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Man, they got some daggone funky. They got some good flavors, man.
Yeah, so I have not had no energy drinks, none whatsoever. Yeah, none. So, but I do. It took Floor. It took about 2 weeks. It took about 2 weeks for it to completely get out of my system. Completely 2 weeks. About 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, I had headaches, like severely headaches. So about 2 weeks. About 2 weeks. About 2 weeks. I still don't sleep though. We'll see how I go in January. Ideally, I like to. Yeah, everybody comes up with the, hey, it's hard, man. It's discipline, man. It's discipline. It's discipline. You know what I mean? Now my next big thing is sugar. Now I don't eat a lot of sweets anyway, but sugar. Um, sugar. Um, I've cut bread. Bread is my biggest weakness. Bread. I love bread, man. So, um, like I said, um, just cut back on certain things, eating wise. You want to make sure all those little holes are clean. And if you have to use these little bitty pipe cleaners. Oh yeah, buttermilk. Oh yeah, I love some damn buttermilk, boy. Love some damn buttermilk. Got a little bit more right there. A little bit more right there. Hey, be safe out there. Be safe out there. Be safe out there. Have a good day. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. And make sure you hit that little bell on there so you don't miss the next live. We almost there. We almost there. Yeah. Well, that's good, Floor. That's good. So I tried that for a month and went back on the old beans. Yeah, I never was a big coffee drinker. I mean, I like the way it smells. I just hate the way it tastes. You know. All right, for a Sata, if you want the PPS adapter Gen 1 for the Sata, it's a 40. It's a 40 for a Sata. All right, so that's that. So I'm gonna go put some water in this. Y'all hang tight. We got one more thing we gotta clean. I don't even know if this thing still works. This is the Atom 2 docking station. I don't even know if this thing works. I think the battery went dead in it and I just never replaced it. So this is the Atom 2 docking station. That goes on there like that. Again, I don't know. The battery might be dead. If it is, I'll have to get a battery. It takes a watch battery. Which paint gun do you like the most? Well, well, hold on a second. That is a very good question, Floyd. That is a very good question. A very good question. I'll answer that. Just hold on 1 second.
All right. That's a very good question. So, if there's a lot of good paint guns out there, it just depends on the person, right? How it depends on the person and the application and what you got going on. So, like I said before, if I've always been a Sata fan. Always been a Sata. They make very, very good guns. Have been making them for decades, right? Decades. Satas is a very good gun, right? Now, they're not cheap. They're not cheap, but they are very good, all right? So, it depends on let me move, because this thinner right here is killing me. So let me move over to the other side. Hold on. So hold on, let me move. All right. So if you're new to the paint game, right? If you're new to the paint game, right? And you're looking for, if you're new to the paint game and you're looking for a very economical, very versatile, very light, very friendly user paint gun, then I would recommend getting the Exodus. I would recommend getting the Exodus from Luma. Now, they're not fast because I grew up spraying on Satas, and Satas you got to move. They are a workhorse. They are a friggin' water hose, right? So when Kurt Lucas and Chris Williams from Luma sent me their Exodus to try out before they was available for public, I painted the 68 Pontiac GTO right out the box. Now, would I recommend that to anybody? Absolutely not. If you're a newbie and you're green behind the ears or whatever, I wouldn't recommend that. What's up, Mike? What's up, George? Excuse me. What's up, Gary? What's up, Mike? So, with that being said, now, you can go to Harbor Freight and you can get the Black Widow, right? I've heard a lot of people talk about the Black Widow, right? A lot of people use the Black Widow. They compare it to other guns like the Sata, Wada, the Vilvis, the Tecna, stuff like that. I don't know. I thought about buying one when they get on sale again and just try one out to let y'all know. Okay? you're only as good as your tool is, but experience goes a long way on trying to get a paint gun to do what you want to do. I'm looking to get one to cover large areas of king cab trucks, big vans, maybe school buses. You might want to look into a pressure pot. If you're going to do like school buses, you might want to look into a pressure pot, stuff like that. But that's a whole nother can of worms. So, with these paint guns, they are very, very friendly, right? They spray it tremendously. I mean, I'll show you this one right here. All right, so this is the gray one, and this is the 1.3, which is for color. So I spray sealer with this one. They just come out with a primer gun with a 1.5 tip. I might try to get that one so I can spray sealer, because all my guns I spray like clear base. I don't. Now, if you got one gun to spray it all, that's okay, because they are expensive and it takes time to get them. But this 1.3 OP, and it's called an OP because they couldn't call it an RP because of patent issues. So you can spray sealer, base coat. You can spray candies, pearls, mid coats, metallics, inner coats. You can spray all that. I mean, hell, you can spray clear with it if you wanted to. You just have to adjust it a little bit. But this one right here is the 1.3. This one also has a light that goes with it, and this is a color light. So this is a Sun Pro light for color. So this right here this light right here makes it look like what it would be in the sun. So that light right there just drops on there like that, and there it is, right? Now, with this whole unit together, weighs less than this Sata. All that laying on the scale and this laying on the scale, this weighs less than the Sata. You can see the difference. I mean, it's completely night and day, right? Now, I'll show you how this one sprays. I mean, that ain't what we was gonna do, but I'll show you. So this is just water. This is This is regular tap water. So, I mean, that's a hell of a fan. I mean, that is the 1.3, right? That is a hell of a fan. But it's slow. And when I mean slow, it's slow for me because I grew up on Satas. And Satas are workhorses. I mean, but if somebody was new to the game and let's say they had a Black Widow, right? And they wanted to upgrade to a better gun. I don't know the Black Widow. Like I said, I might need to have to get one or borrow one if somebody's got one and spray with it. But this right here, this gun here, you can get this gun and their 1.5. This is their 1.5 OP, which is their clear gun. This is their clear gun. And that's what you're looking for. See that? That's what you're looking for, the atomization. See that? This is their clear gun. Now, you can get this gun, and one light for what you would pay for this gun. You see what I'm saying? So, and this gun's made in Japan. These guns are made in Japan like a Wada, right? So, if I was to tell somebody, hey man, buy a gun and it would be good for you, it would be the Luma, right? It'd be the Luma, right? Like I said, their primer gun is on sale, I think, till the first of the month. It's $330. It's called the Shadow. I think you get the 1.5 tip, you get the 1.8 tip, and you get a 2.0 tip and the gun. So you get three caps, 3 needles, 3 nozzles for one price. So that's basically $110 per gun if you divide it up like that, right? On a Sata, you can't change the cap and the nozzle. You have to change the cap, the nozzle, and the needle. You have to change it all. Right? You have to change every bit of it. All right. Also, on the Luma, there's no plastic, there's no seals in here. It's all metal to metal, like the water. The only seal that's in there is that little seal in there that holds that cap. Right? Just two. So cut your teeth on a Sata and you'll be fine. Yeah, pretty much. So that's another thing that I like about the Luma. The Luma doesn't have any seals. Now on the Sata, that's why I got to order a rebuild kit, because the Sata for my other Satas is because, I'll show you, this is dirty. Let me show you. Here's the nozzle, right? There's an O-ring, there's a diffuser that goes in there. That son gun's like $20 for that thing that goes in there. And this is the nozzle. All right, let me show you. Hold on. Let me show you. All right. So here's another Sata that I've got tore down and cleaned. This is a Sata. This is a 5000 HVLP, which is high volume, low pressure. See, you got this plastic insert here. Also, you have a bushing that goes into there, and then that screws into that, right? And then you got seals. You got seals inside there. There is a lot of seals. There's a lot of seals in this son of a gun, right? Also in the cap. So I've sent an email out to Coastal Airbrushing to see how much a rebuild kit would be for this solder right here. This one right here was a Sata Jet 5000 HVLP, which is high volume, low pressure, and this one was a 1.2 tip. This one here I use for base coat clear, base sealer, pearls, candies, and stuff like that. Now I use this gun right here. Right? That's that. So that's another reason why I like the Luma, because it doesn't have any plastic, or it's metal to metal, just like the water. This is a Supernova. This is a LS400 E-Tech. This one is a 1.4 high definition, right? This one here is all metal to metal, right? So also, if you want to look on how, if you want to see how this one sprays, I got these Awadas because the Sata, even though Petty's was sponsored by Sata, the Sata, I couldn't get the Sata to bust up Glazer's Clear 5335, their high glamour clear. I could not get it to atomize it. I could not get it to bust it up. It didn't matter what you did. I couldn't get it to where I wanted to lay slick. So I ended up getting these Supernovas, and they are friggin' workhorses. They like air, right? Look at that. They will flat ass roll, all right? So high pressure, like 38, 40 PSI, these guns right here would bust up the damn clear at, and this one right here, this one's a 1-2. 1-2. Testing 1-2, 1-2. This is a 1-2, all right? and I use this one for base coat, stuff like that. Look, see, flat ass roll. These are some, I mean, they sound like daggone spaceships, right? Then, you got, this one is the Evo. This is the Evo. And this one right here is a 1.3 high definition. Let me take this cap off. This right here is for this is for Gen 2, Gen 2 cups. This is Gen 1. 3M lost their patent, and then everybody started making these, and then 3M started making the Gen 2s, and you had to get a whole new damn cup system. Get a whole damn new cup system. Now everybody sells these cups. You can get them at Harbor Freight. You can get them everywhere now because 3M lost their patent. So this one right here is the high definition. This one right here, flat ass. I mean flat ass. So that's that one, right? So, oh yeah, when I was at the school for the students, what we would tell them to do is run in the needle all the way, run it all the way until it bottoms out, and then turn it 2.5 rounds out. So that's 1, 2, half, and then turn it back 1/4 and then lock it. That right there puts the needle half and half. So you're not getting full throttle. So you're not getting a lot of material to go on a panel, so you don't get that gravitational slippage. Greg wants to know your thoughts on 3M guns. Oh, I'm sorry, Greg. I'm sorry. Appreciate that. So the 3M guns, we used to use those at the school, right? So those 3M guns with the disposable tips, I got a few of those. They're really, really good guns, don't get me wrong. But the problem now with them, just like everything else, the damn nozzle is like $7 to $8 just for one nozzle. And you only get like 3 in a pack. So if you wanted the spray primer and you got the 2.5s, I think they're reds. I think those caps are red. Red or black. I think they're red or black. I think the red's 2.5 and the black is 2.0 or 1.8 or something. I don't know. Then you got greens and blue. You got all different colors. So the problem with them is the caps used to be like a couple dollars a piece, and you'd get like 3 or 4, 5 in a pack, and they'd be like $1 or something. So now they have a new design on the gun itself. When you take the cap off, that's everything. And the only thing you got showing out is the needle. I got one down there in the booth. It's just an old. I think I got a Gen 2. You got the needle. I run down there and get it, and then all you got to do is just spray it out, and all this comes off together. And then you can spray it out and clean it, but you can't run no pipe cleaner through it. You can't run a brush through it because you'll change the plastic. You'll open it up and then it won't be right. And then you can take it off and take it on. On the Gen 2, you can take it off and take it off. Maybe the Gen 3 screws on now. I don't know. I know the one that I got snaps on. Well, after you snap that son of a gun on 2 or 3 times, the little tabs, you'll be in there spraying and the damn end it'll just blow off. It'll just fall off on the floor. And then you got to think, your paint cup's hooked to it. So when it pops off, that son of a will pop off and spin 180, and there you got a mess. Now, I know shops that use them, and that's all they use. They use the 1.0, the 1.2, the 1.3, the 1.5, the 1.8, the 2.0, and the 2.5. And they're good guns, but consumable-wise, you gotta figure up if every time you use the consumable, you got $7 or $8 or $10 in the consumable. That shit adds up. And if you do that 100 times a week, that's a lot of money. So But I go down there and get one so y'all can see what Craig's talking about. Now, this one right here, before I had the Sata, before I had the waters, this was my clear gun, RP, which means reduced pressure. So it means low pressure, high content. High content. So if you spray with an HVLP, which is high volume, low pressure, and you spray with this, and then you pick up a RP and you adjust the RP the same way you got an HVLP, your ass is going to be in trouble. You're going to have massive gravitational slippage. Do you purchase from House of Colors? No. House of Colors is not the same House of Colors since the old man don't run it. Now, I know Jim and all of them, and I think, they're good people, don't get me wrong. But when the old man sold out, when the old man turned over the company to his kids, and then they sold out. It's still House of Colors, but they sold out. It's not the same House of Colors. It's not the same House of Colors. No. Now, I have House of Color stuff, but I don't buy from them directly because mostly I spray PPG. Been spraying PPG probably 30 years. BSF, Glazerous. I spray anything. Hell, I spray you if you hold steel. But right now, shit is expensive. And I know everybody's tired of hearing that shit, but I'm telling you, everything's going up on my end, like consumables, is going up 10 to 12% on the first. Hell, they just went up 10 to 12% back in July, and now they're going up again. So with that, you used to get 2021 clear, which is a good clear from PPG. They consider it a production clear now, but it's a good clear, good cut and buff and all that stuff. Man, you could get that shit for like $160, $170 for a kit. You could get a gallon of clear, the hardener, and a gallon of reducer for less than $200. Hell, man, you're gonna spend $500, $600 now. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I've sprayed Tamco. Tamco makes good stuff. I've sprayed R&M. I've sprayed Glazers. I sprayed Global. PPG owns a lot of shit that a lot of people don't understand. Right? Owns a lot of shit. So PPG owns a lot. So you got Global, which is their global line. Then you have Deltron, they've changed that now to something else. They've changed the name in Nexton or something. Then you got Aquabase. Then you got Commercial Coatings. You got Single Stage. You got their fleet line. There's just thousands and thousands and thousands of line. You sound like you live down the road from me. I might live up the road from you. I don't know about down the road. I might live up the road from you. So let me show you this one right here. So this one right here was my clear gun, and I might use it again. So this is an Atom 2 docking station, which is interchangeable to all the Satas. I don't know if the battery's dead, but this right here will give you the digital air pressure on it. But I've been spraying for a pretty good while, so I can kind of tell where the air pressure is and how it sprays. And I look where I've been, not where I'm going when I'm spraying, because if you look where you're going and not where you've been and it don't look right, and you paint the whole panel or clear the whole panel and it looks like cobbled up shit, then if it's dry, or if it's, you need to look, when you're spraying, the book says 50% overlap. Well, if you're using candies and metallics and pearls and water, it's 75% overlap. So if you'll just teach yourself muscle memory to spray 75% overlap all the time, then you don't have to go, oh, what am I spraying today? Oh, well, let me change up. If you'll just do 75% overlap every single time, you won't have no issues. Dry spray. So dry spray is where the product is drying before it hits the panel, and it looks like the texture of an orange. Not orange peel, but it's that grainy look. So what happens, Mike, let's say it's 85 degrees, right? and you're using 70-degree hardener and 70-degree reducer. That goes back to the 15-degree rule that I was telling y'all earlier. Y'all need to go look back on one of my old videos. It's JG Innovation Garage, the 15-degree rule. And that will explain to you the dry spray and what the 15-degree rule means. So if you were spraying, right, and your product goes from a liquid to an air form, because it's busting up the molecules, and the smaller the drops, the slicker the panel, right? So the better you can bust it up in little bitty balls. Just think about going down the road and you got that big bubble gump rain, right? It's raining, right? And you got that big bubble gump. You got Forest and Bubba rain in big drops. You don't have to turn your windshield wipers on, right? You just, whatever. You can still see. But if it's that fine, foggy, misty rain with them little bitty balls, them little bitty pellets, you're going to have to turn your windshield wipers on because you can't see shit. Same concept on spraying. The smaller the droplet, the slicker the panel will be. So that is the whole objective, is try to bust the molecules up into smaller droplets. So when you're spraying, you're taking it from a liquid form to a gas, right, to a smaller liquid form to get it onto the panel. The solvents in the binder are just a carrying agent to get the product from the cup through the gun to the panel and lay down, right? With that being said, the smaller the droplets, the better you are. Now, here's the problem. If you're using 70-degree reducer and 70-degree hardener, especially the reducer, if you're using 70-degree reducer and 70-degree hardener, and it's 85 degrees and you're spraying, you're going to have to be really, really close to the panel. You're going to have to be wide open throttle, and you're going to have to be moving to get the product to stay in a liquid form to get to the panel to lay out slick, right? Now, what's up, SS? What's up, SS stunt? So with that being said, if you cannot get it from point A, point B, and point C before it does what it needs to do, which is mellow out and lay out flat, what happens is it dries in the air. It kind of semi-dries in the air before it hits the panel. And when it hits the panel, it's going to be grainy, right? It's going to have texture. It's going to look like damn spray bed liner or some undercoating or that spackle paint. And so that is the concept, and that's how the physics work. So when you're over atomizing, it dries too fast. No, not over atomizing. It dries in the air before it hits the panel. So to fix that, you change what you have. So if it's 80 degrees, you put 95 reducer in there, and what that does is now the product thinks it's 95 degrees and not 80 degrees. So now when it comes from out of the cup through the gun, atomized, and hits the panel, it still thinks that it's 95 degrees when it's actually not. It's actually 80. And then it hits the panel and it's like, okay, we're here now, let's rest. Let's just rest a little bit and just lay out. And then we go from there. Golf turtle, we're cleaning and spraying. So that's what I did on those doors and those parts and the parts that we primed the other day. It was 72 degrees and I was using 95 reducer. And the reason why I was doing that is because I wanted it to lay on the panel as long as it could lay on the panel and lay out flat. Right? So here is the Sata. This is the Sata that I use for clear. It is a 1.3 RP, which RP means not Richard Petty. It means reduced pressure. And I'll run down there and get that 3M gun that I haven't used in a long time, and I'll show you. So Oh yeah, the battery dead. The battery dead. So this right here, here's another reason why. Here's another reason why I like the solder. See that? This right here is the fan control, right? So this is the fan control. This is the needle control. This lets the needle go in and out, and that lets how much fluid I want to come from the cup through the gun. And then this is your air pressure, right? Well, this is an Atom 2 docking station, and the battery's dead, so, but it's okay, I can get it. Let me run this back out where it's supposed to be, where I like it. All right, here's another reason why I like the Satas, right? What causes runs? There's a lot of stuff, man. There's a lot of things that can cause runs. You didn't give it the right flash time. You're not moving your hand to panel movement's not right. Your reducer's not right. Most of the time runs is you put it on too heavy too fast, and you didn't give it adequate time to flash off to get to that sweet spot where you could get back on it. So the overlapping is not necessarily in my case, not my case. The book tells you it's 50%, and everybody say 50% overlap, and then it'll say 75% overlap with candies, metallics, and pearls and water base. Well, if you'll just do 75% overlap all the time, then you don't have to try to reprogram your brain to say, hey, look, oh, I'm doing this or doing that. So it just depends. I mean, there's a lot airflow, the wrong reducer, not enough airflow to dry out the solvents. If you bake the panel too fast and you just melted all the solvents and stuff, and it runs like hot butter. I mean, there is a lot of variables in that. I'd have to watch somebody spraying, then I could tell you what happened. Here is one reason why I like the Sata for me. The Sata fan control is right there. Well, I can take my big old hands, and I can reach up there and I can adjust my fan on the fly, right? So if I was trimming out something, let's say I was trimming out something around the pockets on a front bumper cover or in little sections or whatever, I could reach back here and adjust my air pressure to turn my air pressure down, and then I can adjust my fan to go smaller, right? To get up in those little spots, and then back and forth. And also, it's also a catch-22, because if you're not careful and you bump that son of a gun, that's another thing on a solder. If you bump that fan, let's say I'm spraying or whatever, blah, and I go to put the gun up to get ready to go to do the next thing, and before you walk back into the booth and spray on your panel, make sure you double check your fan, put your hand over it and purge it and clean off your horns. Because there's been times in the past when I was new to the solder and I'd bump that daggone fan control, and that son of a gun would be a fan that wide down to a damn pencil, and then you got problems. So this is a RP, so you don't have to have as much pressure. See that one? So what I was saying is, when y'all hear that leaking, these are the wrong fittings, right? So if you got your air pressure like this, and then you change the fan, you see that? So you need to change your air pressure. You need to change your air pressure to go down, because if I was trying to spray up into something like that, you don't want to have a wide fan, because if you had a wide fan, if you had a wide fan like that, and I'm trying to spray, I don't want to get these wet. Um, so if I was trying to spray up into there and get that painted, you don't want to have a wide fan because only thing you're doing is just fogging paint up in that hole or that fog light hole or that pocket or whatever it is. You're just fogging the outside and you're not getting no paint in there and you're getting all that blowback, right? So what you can do is you can turn your air pressure down. You can turn your air pressure down and then back up off of it, right? Back up off of it like this. And now, see, this gun won't go all, that's all the way down. That's air pressure all the way down, right? So if you was running about 10 PSI, you could just sit there and you could just, and you could get up in that, up in there, right? And you see when you run the fan back out, it's not where it needs to be. That right there is a friggin' fire hose, boy. Woo! Man, it's been a while since I used this thing, man. I might have to use this thing. Gets me all excited. So that is a Sata 1.3 RP. This I use this for clear, right? So you got that one, and then you got this little LPH 80, and that was just regular water, boys and girls. This is a LPH 80, which is a 0.8 tip, little bitty sun gun. It's like the size of a damn airbrush, right? This little gun right here, I got when I took the gunsmithing class to Cerakote pew pews, right? Yeah, right there. The Supernova. Yeah, I got it. So this little sun gun right here is a very, very little, this sun gun right here is like an airbrush. Look, I mean, low pressure, like this thing right here is like crazy. Right? Look, look. Crazy. Crazy little sun gun. That's it right there. That's as wide as that's as wide. That right there. That right there is a super little ass gun right here. And also, you can turn the damn fan like that. So if you was doing something like up and down, you could. I mean, a lot of people like okay, so you got your fan like this and you're trying to paint like that, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But you know you can turn that son of a gun sideways and do like that, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. So what is the product loss on spraying? Well, Mike, I'm sorry, I can't answer that question. I know transfer efficiency is a whole lot better, but I don't. I'd have to go get the book. I'd have to go. Now I have a Sata 4400 that I Cerakoted. It's a trim gun, and it's little like this. It's a 4400. I'd have to go. I'd have to go get the book. I have a little Harbor Freight gun that's like that, and it's not terrible, really bad. Oh yeah, the floor. These little guns right here don't like a lot of pressure, man. They're like an airbrush. So basically, these little guns right here, these little guns right here. Can you explain the trigger finger movement, or is that just in the video itself? What are you talking about? 4307. Explain the trigger finger. Explain the trigger finger. Spit it out. Ain't nobody gonna take it from you. Explain the trigger finger movement, or is that just in the video itself? So this little airbrush right here has about the same tip as that little stun gun right there's got. So this is an Awada Eclipse, right? Where you can get in there and do a lot. And then I got a micro where you can really get in there and do like hairline stuff. Let me wait on that question there, Austin, and then let me get back to Mike's question on the paint gun, and I'll give you what the textbook says. I know the efficiency is better. 63, 634. I don't want to give you the wrong information. I don't want to say it's 30% and it might not be 30%. I mean, yeah, you stumped me because I don't know that number off the top of my head anymore. I know, I know it's a whole lot more efficiency, but I don't know the exact number. You know what I mean? I don't know the number right off the top of my head. I would say it's probably anywhere from 20 to 30%. I would say that. Equipment, 64s. I would say that. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. All right, here we go. Here we go. Spray setup and spray technique. They got a little Sata. They got a Sata in this picture. All right, let's see. Efficiency. There's the balancing of a spray pattern, wetter, this, that, flood test, do a flood test. Yeah, you need to set your gun up too when you're spraying. See right there, it says 50% overlap, 75% overlap for pearls and candies and water base. So there's that right there. Let's see. I don't know how to ask what I'm trying to ask. Maybe it's just. All right. Hey, Austin, I'll keep looking. Austin, I think I know what you're asking me. I think I know what you're asking me. So, are you asking me about trigger control? Is that what you're asking me? Is that what you're asking me about trigger control? Is that what you're asking? I'm going to find it, Mike. I'm going to find it. Yeah, man, I got all my books. Austin just wants to know. Okay, so that's what I figured. All right, so let me show you, all right? Well, there you go, 15 to 90%. HVLP, high volume, low pressure, I would agree you get the best efficiency, right? So to answer Austin's question, all right, so you never let off the trigger, right? So you got two sweet spots on the trigger, right? So you got, so see there's air, right? There's air. So when you're spraying, see you got air, right? So let me let me show you. Let me show you on this right here. All right, let me show you on this right here. So, all right. So when you're painting a panel, right? When you're painting a panel or whatever you're painting, you got trigger on. See, my trigger's on, right? Where I just have air, and then I have material, right? So, with that being said, so look here, I got trigger on. There's nothing coming out, and then I got product, right? So you got product, just air. Product, just air. A lot of people will do this. They'll do this. They'll start and they'll go. Pay attention. This is what they'll do. And they'll stop. And they'll stop. You see what I'm saying? Don't do that. Don't do that. All right? Here's the reason why you don't do that. So, when you pull the trigger, right? So when you pull the trigger, you got product, right? And when you let off the trigger, you have no product. But what happens is you shut the door, right? You cut the door off and you create a vortex, right? So whatever was here gets sucked back to the face of your gun, right? With that being said, and then when you go to spray again, whatever landed on the face of your gun now is in your panel. So you're on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. And by doing that, you're potentially to have a drip on the end, right? And then you're going to have a piece of product that lands in your product, right? So the way I was taught and the way I teach everybody is don't go all the way off, right? So with that being said, it's like this. Always keep, this is just water, man. It's just water. So always have it right there. So you go paint on, paint off, paint on, paint off, paint on, paint off, paint on, paint off. But see, I went too far. I cut it all the way off. You don't want to go all the way off. On, paint. See that? And I have my needle adjusted all the way out. So when I pull, that's full throat, that's full flow. There's no restriction. Now, if you don't paint like that, that's okay. And you run your needle in, that's okay. You just got to remember, when you're spraying product, you're not spraying a lot of product. So let me show you. So now, when you're on your panel, you start, and I got air, right? You go all the way to the end, and I still go all the way past the end. Don't start right here and then stop right there, because you're going to have a heavy spot or a tiger stripe or a run. You're going to have anything. So when you start, you got air on, product, off. But I'm still spraying. On, off. Just air. So when you do it, that you will have a better result by doing that other than off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on. Austin, did that? What's up, Joe? Austin, did that answer your question? Hey, Flora, no problem, man. Hey, I'll give it to people that want it, man. 4307, Austin. I know it's probably got a delay. Did that answer your question? Also, I'm not a fan of hanging all this shit off the end of your gun. Fisheye reducer, water trap, all that stuff. If you gotta have all that stuff, don't put it on the end of your paint gun. Put it on the other end of the paint. If you have to run a fisheye, yeah, and if just hold it for a second. This right here was a gift. Fisheye eliminator. Right? A lot of people run these, and if you run them, if you got a fisheye eliminator on your system, it's because you got bad air system. Okay? Right? If you have to run, I mean, look, let's just look at it like this. Right? If you run now with the water, or not the water, but with the the Luma guns, they come with an air regulator, right? And you put an air regulator on it like that, right? Okay, you put an air regulator on it, right? I don't run an air regulator. I don't. So now you got that. Then you put your fisheye eliminator, and then you put your damn fitting on there. Look at that son of a bitch. Look at that. Then you put your air hose on there. Look at all that. Look at all that shit hanging off the damn paint gun. It's like a third leg, man. Look. I mean, it's all the way to my damn elbow. Man, you're gonna look. Look at all that. There is no sense in having goddamn 13 inches of shit hanging off your damn paint gun. You're looking for problems. You're gonna hit your panel. You can't get. How in the hell are you supposed to get up underneath something and trim when you got this third leg, when you got this damn baby leg hanging off the damn bottom of your gun? I mean, you literally got that hanging off. How are you supposed to get up in? You can't. I mean, you might as well strap a damn 2x4 to it and just. But if you have to run this, put it on the other end of the hose. Put that son of a gun, put it over here. Put it on the end of the hose. All right? Put it on the end of the hose and put your regulator on the wall. You need an air pressure regulator to know if you got it tacked out. Yeah, put it on the wall. Put it on the wall. Now, if you want to do this, if you want to make you up something where you can hook it to the paint gun, where you can, I mean, even if you had, even this right here to me is too much. But a lot of people got to have it because they want to know how much airflow they got, right? They want to have this on there. So like Mike says, you got it hooked up and you're spraying and you're setting your air pressure right here. Well, that right there is still restricting your air pressure, right? So if you have to have it, put it at the other end. Put it at the other. You need to have the regulator at the wall, right? You need to have the regulator at the wall feeding your paint gun, right? So you need to have something like this. You need to have something like this on the wall. See, I'm at 140 PSI. Look, I'm right there. This is the tank pressure. Or these are the tank pressures. There's 3 tanks out back, so that's the tank pressure. This is the pressure coming through here, and then I got it 120, and then by the time it goes here, you got pressure drop. So if you got to have something, come straight off the regulator to your air hose, and then adjust your air pressure. If you got to have a filter system, have it at the point, not on your friggin' gun. Not on your damn gun, because that shit is way too much in your damn way. Oh yeah, here's a little Sata. Here's a little Sata 4400 I took apart and daggone did some desert sand on it. Can you mount a picky rail? No. I'm not a fan of digitals. Mr. Wick, I'm not a friend. Now, my Satas have the Atom 2 docking station, but I'm not a fan of paint guns that have the digital readouts on them, because the cleaning solvents in the digital guns will blur out the computer LCD screen or whatever the screen is, and then there you go, you just wasted your money. The one thing about the Atom 2 docking station, it comes off, and there's nothing there. The Satas that had the digital in the handle, gone. Worst mistake they ever made, and they actually did an article on it. Said they wish they'd have never put the digital readout in the handle, because the thinner would get in there, the solvents, and it just kill the screen. So, but yeah. What's up, Adam? So yeah, that's that. So yeah, so if you got to run a fisheye eliminator, run it on the other end. But the reason why you run a fisheye eliminator is because you have petroleum or oil contaminants in your airline. That's where it's coming from. So if you have to run this, run it on the other end. If you have to run a regulator, run it on the other end. Don't run it on the paint gun, because like I said, if you run all that on your paint gun, if you run it on the paint gun, look at that. You got, and then some of them will even put the damn little water ball on there from Harbor Freight, which is a waste of money. That thing's garbage. You put that little ball on there, now you got that ball on there, and literally that thing is like the length of a damn 2x4. So, yeah. I don't run none of that stuff. And if you spray every day or spray a lot, you'll be able to hear and see how your product is laying on the panel, and you'll know what the sweet spot is. Look, right here. Look here. Right here on page 648, it says, according to the author, Mike Crandell, most painters do not know how to correctly set up a spray gun. Study the follow chapter until you understand how to set up a spray gun for pattern, shape, material, and air pressure. Most painters in the paint shop do not know how to even set up their paint guns correctly. once they learn how to set them up, they realize how much they were not using the equipment the way it was designed to use. That right there is in chapter 27. Chapter 27. The school has got a virtual reality game, video game, and when you get in that video game, it's all VR, and it's a pretty cool game. I mean, it's pretty cool. And the school started using that VR to save on products, right? I know, right? I know. So they started using this VR stuff, which is cool, man. They got a welding thing, they got a paint thing. I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, I've played it. It's interesting. But the thing is, you're spraying in virtual reality, right? Oh, Kevin. Oh, Kevin's my buddy. Kevin is my buddy. Yep, Kevin's my buddy. So this VR paint machine, it's virtual reality. Paint gun and everything, it's all. So the thing that school started doing is the few weeks of paint one, you're on this machine and you're spraying and you're recording your time. It records all the data. And when you are spraying 85% efficiency on the panel, then that's when you get to go into the booth and actually spray product for real. They've done that for a lot of reasons: cut down on costs, cut down on consumables and stuff. So that's all fine and good. I mean, technology is great, but you're in virtual reality. You got a hood on. You're standing in the middle of the shop floor, right? You're standing in the middle of the shop floor in air conditioner and regular clothes, and you're spraying, right? You're spraying, which gives you a lot of insight. But what it don't give you is 110 degrees in a paint suit sweating. It doesn't give you the real life crawling around on the floor. None of that shit. Yeah, no problem, Lee. It don't give you any of that. It just gives you a starting point. You know what I'm saying? It gives you a starting point. It doesn't give you the weight of the gun. I mean, you have a paint gun in your hand, but it's all plastic. It doesn't give you the realistically of the paint gun, the weight of the paint gun, how the paint gun sounds, how the air sounds, how it doesn't give you all that. So the VR is cool. It's like a training aid, which is awesome. Yeah, all about the angles. You got to get in. Yeah, it does. You literally are standing in the room and you're painting a fender. You're painting a fender, a hood, a motorcycle part. You're not painting the whole car. So I understand why they do the VR, the virtual reality. I understand it. It's cool. It's a great technology. The machine's like $50,000 for the damn machine, for the thing. And the school's got like 2 or 3 of them son of guns. I mean, you got $150K on 3 machines. And I know over time wasting product would probably add up to that. But also, you're not in the paint booth crawling around on the floor. You don't have the heat. You don't have this. You don't have all these other elements that's coming after you to do that efficiency. So you can get 85% efficiency on a video game, but I throw you in the real life world and you couldn't whoop your ass out of a wet sack if I tore a hole in the bottom of it. So It's the VR is cool, but it's not real life. You know, it's like when people go and it's like, oh, when people say, hey man, I'm a good marksman. I'm trying to use words where I don't get in trouble. I'm a good marksman. Okay? I'm a good marksman. I can do this and do that and do that. Okay, great. Well, I tell you what, let's do this. Do 10 jumping jacks, 5 push ups, run to the end of the road and run back, and let's see how good you are a marksman. You probably ain't. You probably ain't. You're in a controlled environment. So when you're in a controlled environment, you're in a controlled environment, then you're going to have a controlled outcome. It's like a hypothesis. If you control the scenario, you can control the outcome. But if you got shit going on around you, screaming and hollering and yelling and all this other stuff going on, and you can't concentrate, then you're not going to be able to do what you need to do. You need to be able to blur out all the noise and do what you need to do. That's why for someone that knows nothing about, yeah, oh yeah, Craig, absolutely, 100%. VR is a stepping stone to get you where you need to get. Absolutely, 100%. I mean, we teach it at the school. We even have VR welding machines where you're welding in a VR setting and it's not real. You don't have the sound of the paint. You don't have the sound of the welding wire. You don't have any of that stuff. You don't have any of that stuff going on. None of it. You don't have any outside chaos going on for you to be able to do what you need to do because you can't concentrate. So when I'm in the booth, man, normally, on live, I sprayed the other day for you guys, and I'm gonna keep spraying for you guys live. But normally, I will put earbuds in my ears, and I will turn up some music. It just depends on what I'm feeling that day. Hell, it might be one of my songs. It might be Kevin Gates. It might be AC/DC. It might be Beethoven. It might be the Fifth Symphony with the Sixth Orchestra. It depends on it. It depends on what. Hell, it might be Kenny Rogers. Hell, it might be David Allen Cole. Hell, they ain't no telling what I'll be listening to. That's right. That's right. You gotta have the sound. And I'm deaf in my left ear too, so it's a struggle. It's a struggle to kind of over adapt on that. But VR has its place for a lot of reasons. But when you actually get in a real life situation and you're in the paint booth and you're trying to run and you're trying to run a spray gun and you're like, man, this is not hot. And you got all that heat. You got the sweat running down the crack of your ass. I mean, it's 110 degrees in the booth. Well, I don't spray that hot no more anyway. But if it's 100 degrees in the booth and you got all this shit on there and you yeah. My car was the first car I ever painted. Never held a paint gun and says, hey, but you know what, Craig? At least you did it. At least you did it. At least you did it. Gravitational slippage is what I call it. Gravitational slippage. People give me hell on my music taste because I'm the same way. Hey, man, I listen to anything, man. I took fine arts and music in college. The decipher, well, we're not going to get into that, but that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, it depends on, and another thing I tell people, get you a little notebook or a notepad or a journal and write down how you're feeling that day, right? How you feeling that day. So if you're in the booth and you're spraying, write down everything, how you was feeling, what you're spraying, how'd you mix it, what you eat that day, what you're listening to. Write all that shit down, because if you have to come back and if something happens, like Craig says, let's say you got gravitational slippage, right? And you're trying to figure out what happened, you got a reference point to go back, because it's hard to remember every single detail. You can take 10 people, and 10 people can see the same wreck, and 10 people will have a different perspective on what they saw. It's facts. They've done it. They've done it in theories. They've done it in tests. You can take 10 people and show them something, and all 10 people will have a different perspective. You know. So sometimes the majority wins, sometimes the majority don't. So it is what it is. So, boys and girls, it's like I said, between 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock, it's supposed to be 70 some degrees here. My barber, which is the Mexican barbershop, has invited me to his grandmother's birthday party today. I should go, but I got a lot of stuff to do. It's 1 o'clock. Like I said, I wanted to clean this gun, and I wanted to clean this gun. Now, that's about as far as we're gonna go with that one, because it needs a complete rebuild kit. So that's that, but this one's completely done, and the rest of them are done, so we're good to go on that. And we need to mix up some more primer and spray. What's up? What's up, KO? KOL? Cole, or whatever how you say that, Cole. So that being said, Cody. I need to put the oh yeah, no problem, man, no problem. It kind of snowballed into a lot of stuff. Hey, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Also, I want to let everybody know, got the TikTok page unlocked. There is a lot of paint videos over there on the TikTok page. Go over there and hit the TikTok page, hit the follow button, the subscribe button, whatever. I'm not changing anything on YouTube. I'm still going to do the YouTube stuff. I'm just doing the TikTok thing to reach a different atmosphere and a different age group on TikTok. I've learned a lot of wild facts. Thanks for making this stuff. Oh yeah, no problem. About to get in this shot and get some working ghosts. You know. Hey, I appreciate every single one of you boys and girls. Thanks for tapping in. I'm about to go get me something. It's bean time. I gotta go get me something to eat. Remember I said, boys and girls, it's supposed to be pretty today. The big eye in the sky's out. And let me show you, boys and girls. Look at that right there. Ooh, look at that big eye in the sky. It's nice and pretty. It's supposed to be 70-something degrees today. So we're gonna at least get some stuff primed today. The fenders and the hood. So I got a couple hours if I decide to go to this cookout, and I probably should go to it. Remember I said, boys and girls, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. There ain't no AI bullshit over here, boys and girls. Remember what I said, don't worry about the man up the road or down the road. Sweep off your own front porch while sweeping off anybody else's. Put God first, let loose and drag. Peace out and chicken grease. I'm out.